Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kingfisher blind. Putting together a video comparing the Canon 100 to 400 EF Mark II with the Canon RF 100 to 500. And so I'm out shooting kingfishers this morning, and I'm shooting the Canon 100 to 400, but I've got the 1.4 times teleconverter on here to make it more equivalent, I guess you can say, to the 100 to 500. It gets me out to 560 millimeters, and then I can back it off actually to 500. It's f8 at 560, whereas the 1 to 5, as most of you probably know, is 7.1 at 500. So the main thing is to really look at the autofocus speed, accuracy, things like that, image quality compared to the 1 to 500. And so if you're interested in how this all turns out, stay tuned, and I'll be back with a whole bunch more information. All right, well, I'm out in the kingfisher blind again. This is what I do a lot this time of year. And the kingfisher's been here and gone a few times already this morning, ate a few fish, and he's gone now. So I want to take this time to talk some more about the Canon 100 to 400 with the 1.4 times teleconverter adapted to the R5, and compare that to the Canon RF 100 to 500. I've been shooting both of those lenses now, set up the way I just said, for the last couple weeks. The weather's been horrible. We've had a bunch of rain, a bunch of wind with some tropical storm activity and stuff, so it's been really hard to do good photography. But I do have some images and some video that I took with the 1 to 4 and with the 1.4 times, again, like I said, and I'll link to those in the description, as I usually do. But I want to talk about, the overall performance of the 100 to 400 with the 1.4 compared to the 100 to 500. And overall, it's really a good combination. The image stabilization in all three modes is great. I've been doing a lot of tripod work lately with the kingfisher because I have to, but I've done some other stuff to evaluate the 100 to 400 handheld, and all three modes work as they should. As good as the 100 to 500, maybe not, but I'll tell you, it's pretty darn close. I mean, it's hard to really, in the real world, make a call. It's very close. The autofocus for most situations that I shoot, and I do a lot of birds in flight, a lot of birds in general, is great. All the different autofocus methods, zone, point, expanded points, have been great. The animal eye detect with tracking grabs onto eyes just like it does with the 100 to 500. The one thing that I've seen with the 100 to 400 combination is that under the most extreme, for me anyway, type shots, the kingfisher diving, following it down, back up, it seems like I'm not getting quite as many sharp images as I do with the 100 to 500. Now, I've been shooting the 100 to 4 with the 1.4 at 560 millimeters, basically at f8, right? And I've been shooting the 100 to 500 mostly at 500 millimeters at 7.1. So, it's a pretty close comparison, and the 100 to 500 tracks a little bit better, especially when things are coming right at you really fast. And so I'm getting a few more, I think, higher proportion of sharp images with the 100 to 500 than I am with the 100 to 400. Now, for most people, it just depends on how you shoot. Would I recommend the getting the 100 to 500 if you already have the 100 to 400 Mark II? Probably not. If you don't do a lot of the most demanding type birds in flight, or other types of really demanding photography, I think you're going to really like using the 100 to 400 with the 1.4 on the R5. It really is a good solid combination. Image quality, is it quite as good as the 100 to 500? Of course, you're shooting that naked, right, with no teleconverters, and anytime you put a teleconverter on, you're going to be losing some image quality. But I'll tell you, again, for 95% of the images I've looked at, it's really hard to see a big difference in image quality between the 100 to 400 with the 1.4 times teleconverter on it and the 100 to 500 naked. Okay, so again, yes, there's some fall off there for the 100 to 400 combination, but I'm, again, given the price difference between the 100 to 400, especially if you have a 100 to 400, that and the 100 to 500, I wouldn't be spending the money, more than likely, because I just don't see that much of a benefit. There is a weight difference too, right? I mean, the 100 to 400 with the 1.4 is quite a bit, quote unquote, heavier than the 100 to 500. Depends again on who you are and how you shoot, whether that's going to be an issue for you or not. But for me, it really wouldn't be. And so, there's not a real advantage of the 100 to 500 for me. The one thing I like about the 100 to 400 is the smoothness and the looseness of the zoom mechanism on the 100 to 400 versus the 100 to 500. When they're both on loose, the 100 to 400 is much looser than the 100 to 500, making it much easier to pan in and out as you're shooting a bird coming right at you, or whatever. And so I wish the 100 to 500 was actually like that, versus what it is. Again, will it loosen up? I don't know, but the 100 to 400 is a lot better in my assessment for that kind of work. Throw's about the same. It's pretty long again, so there's not a real advantage of the 1 to 4 there. But it is shorter, of course, a little bit, but it's still pretty darn long. So anyway, there's not a whole lot else to really talk about, I don't think. If you like this video, please subscribe. Leave your comments. I try to get back to all my comments as quickly as I can, and I've got a lot of other videos out there now on my YouTube channel, so take a look at those if you're interested. And until next time, stay safe, get out there, take some pictures. If you're living in a place at least that has some light, right? Maybe it will get, this is supposed to be the Sunshine State, right? And it has not been that lately. So anyway, get out there, take some pictures, and until next time, see you soon.